Welcome to Reality Recap, powered by CrossComm. I'm your host, Shane Norris. As usual, today we're going to take you inside some of the top stories in augmented and virtual reality. Let's begin. Meta no longer requiring a Facebook account to use Quest headsets. What does this mean for users and businesses? We'll follow up on a story from a previous episode on augmented reality contact lenses and what the future is there. And a new free and open source framework for immersive training applications. Is it worth using? All that and more in your Reality Recap. All right, first up, Meta is now allowing the creation of separate Meta accounts. Now, this allows users to disassociate from their actual personal Facebook account and just have an account for their Meta hardware devices. This includes the Quest headsets and potentially any future headsets or watches or any other portal devices or metaverse related devices coming from Meta. A couple groups have been asking for this. First off, gamers and people that just kind of use the metaverse socially have been looking for a way to kind of disassociate for privacy reasons from their personal Facebook account. You know, you might not want everyone in the game that you're playing against, multiplayers from around the world, to know exactly who you are, where you live, or be able to easily access information like that, see your real name. And then there's also been the enterprise and business use that has been lacking here. So this allows a company to purchase headsets. They're already a bargain at $300 a piece to use with their employees, and then to be able to provide them separate employee accounts for this instead of having to connect their private Facebook accounts to this, whether that would be, you know, a county buying a lot of headsets for fire stations and allowing firefighters to connect for virtual reality training, or that could be something as simple as a company providing them, just like they do a laptop, as a piece of business equipment to use for networking or meetings or different things like that. And then the company still owning anything that they purchase for the employee through that account, and the employee not having to connect their personal account back to their company work, kind of separating those two things out. So really easy sell for business, kind of a win for gaming and social networking, separate of your own personal Facebook account that might have more stuff than you want to share with the social network. Next up, we are following up on a story that we did back in March here on Reality Recap. Mojo Vision is a hardware company. They've been developing an augmented reality contact lens. So back in March, they had it at a couple trade shows, and folks could kind of step up and look through the contact lens on a little plastic arm, kind of get a little bit of an idea of what it would look like. Fast forward to now, their CEO actually placed the contact lens in his eye, first person to actually test and wear this contact lens from Mojo Vision. And now they're running through more tests of actually wearing that contact in their eye. Super cool proof of concept. It's really exciting for them. We feel like there's maybe some concerns here as far as, you know, if you have batteries and wireless receivers and things like that, there's a lot of technology in a contact lens to be that close to the eye dissipating heat. I'm sure they have some folks working on that. That's probably one of their main concerns, but still a lot of questions since we don't have very many hardware specs on it. Additionally, some questions about what's missing. There's no camera, there's no way for the lens itself to kind of recognize where it is in the world. So that's kind of the key to smart glasses or, you know, cell phone built augmented reality, is that it can be assistive because the camera lets the device know what it's looking at and where to place, you know, heads up displays or different forms of augmentation to your reality around you. If you're just putting up a heads up display on someone's contact lens, it can be assistive. It can be good for workouts or wayfinding or things like that, but it's not truly the full idea of augmented reality. You're not really grabbing everything you can with it. So while I don't have any problem with Mojo Vision doing this, go for it. That's awesome. I think maybe the industry as a whole not skip the step of actual glasses and maybe take some things that we learned from and some tools developed by Mojo or ideas developed by Mojo and pull those back into making smart glasses a lot more compact and usable and more acceptable to the broad public. Otherwise, cool proof of concept. Glad for them. Hope it goes swimmingly and hope we get to see some more cool shrinkage of technology like this in glasses and other tools moving forward. Okay, our final story. VRMADA, a software developer in Madrid, Spain, has released a free open source framework for virtual reality training apps. Now, if you're unfamiliar, a framework is kind of like a toolbox. It's full of starter pieces and different tools and stacks that you can use if you are a smaller company or a independent developer and you want to work on something that you don't really have a lot of resources on. It's kind of like a jumpstart kit. So they've released this for free. It works across several different hardware devices. We haven't actually used it here, so it's hard to say, the proof is in the pudding whether it's actually a good framework, but we do think it's a good idea to see companies giving back to the community, giving back free tools to kind of help foster innovation and help grow, especially in virtual reality training, which is what this framework is built for. That really, as we continue to say on this video feed, is the killer application for virtual reality, especially when it comes to enterprise. So the idea of more people and more developers and more small studios getting a chance to kind of help ramp that up is really good for the entire industry. Again, we haven't used it yet. Proof will be in the pudding on whether it's a good framework, but probably something to look into if you're a smaller shop, if you're a developer, if you're just looking to get into this and you don't really have a lot of tools to start with. All right, that wraps up this episode of Reality Recap powered by CrossComm. As always, if you want to stay on top of emerging technology, augmented and virtual reality, immersive technology, all of that stuff, we suggest that you mash that subscribe button and stay on this feed, like or comment, and let us know what you think of our work. That always makes us feel good. Even if it's positive or negative, we want to hear from you. Either way, go ahead and subscribe so you get all the alerts anytime we put out a video on this feed. Be good, guys.